I'm Kim Anderson, and this is Tailgate Talk on SUNUP's Market Monitor. The USDA released the World Agriculture Supply and Demand estimates and the crop production estimates this last week. Let's start with wheat. If you look at wheat production, U.S. wheat production was estimated or projected to be 1.88 million bushels compared to 1.81 last year and an average of 1.89. World wheat production was projected to be 29.1 billion bushels. That's a near record. It was 28.9 last year, and your average is 28. Hard red winter wheat for the United States was projected to be 726 million bushels compared to 601 last year and an average of 745. So you really got average U.S. wheat, above average world wheat production, and below average or right at average hard red winter wheat. The important numbers for wheat are the stocks to use ratios. You look at all U.S. wheat, it's for 24-25, it's projected to be 39.4%. It was 37.5 last year, and the average is 40.8. So we might as well say right at average stocks to use ratio for all wheat. You look at world wheat, 31.6. down from last year's 32.2. I think that's good news for us, and it's below the 33.5% average. We don't have a stocks to use ratio for hard red winter wheat. We'll get that number next month, but we finished the year at 47%. That's slightly below average on the 50%. If you look at wheat prices, you see that wheat prices, you go back to April, around $5.45. We had an increase in prices up to $6.85 a bushel. That was the end of May. We came into harvest at $6.85, and then we've lost about 85 cents since we got into harvest. I think what's important, though, is to look at when to sell wheat. If you look at the June, July, and August average from 2009 through this last year, that average price is $5.85. And it was about the same for June, July, and August. But once you got to September, you lost 23 cents a bushel on the average on that. So what that tells you on wheat is to just get you a mechanical marketing strategy. Say, sell it in lots of 6 or 16% of the time. Start June 15, July 1, July 15, July 30, August 15, and August 31. Make up your own mechanical marketing strategy, and I think you'll be happy with how it turns out with wheat. Now let's look at corn, soybeans, and cotton. On that WSDA report, corn production was estimated to be a record 16.9 billion bushels. It's 15.3 last year. You look at the average, it's 14.4, so well above average corn production. Soybean production at a record 4.45 million bushels, 4.17 last year, and an average is 4.17. Cotton production at 16 million bales compared to 12 last year and an average of 16.4. Now the important numbers again are those stocks to use ratios. Corn, 14.2% projected for this next year compared to 13.7 last year and an average of 11.6. Well above average for corn. You look at soybeans, 10.4%, last year 8.5, the average 7.5. Again, well above average product and stocks to use ratios there. With cotton at 27.5%, that's higher than last year's 20.1% and the average of 22%. So above average stocks to use ratios for cotton. If you look at corn, the world stocks to use ratio is slightly below average and soybeans is above average. Now looking at prices, forward contracting for the upcoming harvest, right now you can forward contract corn for around $4.43. The average price from 09 through 23 was $4.80. And you look at the stocks to use ratios, you would expect corn prices to be down in this range. Soybeans, you can forward contract for $10.70, average is $10.80. Look at the stocks to ratio, you might expect a slightly below average price, and so we'll have to watch that soybean price as we go on out. Cotton prices have fallen around 72 cents on that ICE futures contract, and that implies around 68 or 69 cent cotton as we get into harvest. I look forward to visiting with you again next week on SunUp's Market Monitor.